Welcome to Entertainment Weekly's Comic-Con studio. I'm Sam Heifel, and I'm joined now by the executive producer and cast of Titans. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
I looked up and I was like, wow, all right, we're doing this. Okay, Greg, I'll start with you because we streamlined a bit in season 3, reduced your number of characters a bit. How does that affect season 4?
Well, Titans, we kill them off and we bring them back on. Even if you die, you come back. So, we've added some really interesting and dynamic and problematic characters to this season that create a lot of interesting challenges for our team.
Yeah. Brenton, how is Nightwing as a leader?
He's like Brenton.
Which means?
He wants to be a good leader, but there's always a fatal flaw. No, I think he's stepping up this season in a big way. I mean, to answer your question before, the advantage of killing people off is that you get to, bring on new characters to every season. I feel like we've done that every season, right? Yeah. And this season is an opportunity for Nightwing to, to be the leader that we all know from the comic books, to be the leader that's charismatic and lives by a certain morale and kind of knows exactly what line he's walking with being a superhero. And I think, in terms of managing the Titans, everyone's getting older and finding their own identity. And that's great because we're a stronger team, but that comes with its own challenges. So, yeah, it's a whole kind of fresh set of challenges for Nightwing this season.
Yeah. Ryan, Beast Boy is still learning how to use his powers. What can we expect from him in season 4?
My go-to word has just been unraveling.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no. It's been 3 seasons of very difficult ups and downs. He has a good heart, and his laugh and his charisma get him through. But this season, the traumas kind of resurface, and the unraveling. It's actually for his benefit. So there's a lot of peace found for Garfield this season, and he gets to be impactful in a way that I think he hasn't really been in previous seasons.
Does that make your job more fun, getting to play that?
I absolutely. No, there's one scene in particular, episode 8 or so. I can't give any spoilers away, where I got to play an absolute madman, and the guest star that I was playing opposite of was not really familiar with the tone of the show, and was looking at me like I was, explicit. Yeah, lost my mind. Yeah.
Is there like an intro speech to new guest stars of like, listen, this is what you're walking into?
That should be it. Our actors are going to lose their mind. You okay with that? Sorry.
There's a catchphrase.
Yourself.
Is it? Do you want to give up the catchphrase? New actors coming into the show?
Well, I don't know the catchphrase.
The classic catchphrase.
Yeah.
Well, I've teed it up now. You have to say it.
Welcome to Titans. Yeah, it's simple, but it gets the point across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to wait for it's all about the timing of when you use that.
Exactly.
Well, what happens
Right.
is when something really goes crazy on our show and goes wrong, and it will a few times this season, where something you've never seen before happens.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at each other, kind of does this shrug and just goes, Titans.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, how does the intro of Lex Luthor affect Connor?
It affects him profoundly.
Yeah.
It's something that we've kind of been building up since season 2. We're kind of tugging back at those story threads back from when Connor was first introduced. We've seen characters like Mercy Graves talk to Lex on the other end of a phone call. We've had a lot of conversations about him. Nightwing, Gar, everyone's been telling Connor who this guy is, and now we get to see this guy, and we get to see expectation meet reality. And I don't want to spoil what happens, but it's interesting.
It's Titans. Yeah. What made now the time to actually have that? Like you said, you guys have been bringing it up on the show. Why bring Lex now?
Well, getting permission to use certain iconic characters is like an Elizabethan wedding courting ceremony process. It takes months, if not years, of asking and getting on one's knee and sending gifts. And then ultimately, we felt that every character on our show needs to go through a ringer of some sorts. And we're a family show, and a family's always about someone having a really hard time in a family and how a family could stay together. And it felt at this point we hadn't had for Superboy that kind of story that really challenged him in a way that really forced him to figure out who he was. He does have a dual DNA parentage, you know, that has been hinted at being a struggle, but we wanted to kind of put that struggle right front and center this year and have him make some decisions about what this path forward is going to be.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Joseph Morgan, a man who has made a career out of playing wonderful villains. What made him right for this season's big bad, if you will?
I'm going to leave that to, I know my choices of why we went in. He's a deeply skilled actor.
Yeah.
He's passionate and committed. He changed his body in order to do the job. He did I think we all learned good lessons from Joseph, but I didn't have to play against him, or I had the privilege of playing against him. I just talked to him on the phone and
Sure.
said, but these guys will have a better answer.
Yeah. What's it been like working with Joseph?
They have more time with Joseph than I do. It was just really nice, pleasant conversation off set.
Yeah.
But we are so opposite in terms of characters that putting us in the same room, I think, would lower the stakes.
Yeah.
So it works that we don't see each other, because I'm always trying to make levity out of the situation, and Joseph's character is very intense.
All right, well then for the two, I guess, who've actually worked with him more, how's it been?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to work closely with Joseph at various points in the season. He's, as Greg says, he's an incredibly skilled actor.
Yeah.
Amazing performer, but he's also down to earth, and he's a really open collaborator. And creatively, it was just easy to work with him, and to it's hard to talk about it without giving away plot points. But
He's a lovely human.
He is.
He is, 100%.
Yeah. But he brings a real gravitas, but also a vulnerability to Sebastian that I think is a really nice counterpoint to Brother Blood, the villain.
Sure.
I think one of the things that we really loved about him is, and I think Josh just nailed it, he was able to play both Sebastian and Brother Blood. And Sebastian is somebody who's lived on the fringes of the world for many reasons, and unfairly so, and not understanding that there's a destiny that he's about to fulfill. And he's had a very hard time. He's felt unseen. He's felt mistreated, and hasn't really cast himself as a victim. He's just struggled, and like so many people we know. And so when he's actually discovered that there's a mission, there's a prophecy, there's a destiny for him.
Yeah.
Watching that character evolve, Joseph's able to hit all those beats.
Yeah. Okay, the last thing I will ask you is, how did you decide to set season 4 in Metropolis?
Well, we wanted a real strict, a distinct contrast from Gotham. We'd been in San Francisco.
Sure.
We'd been a road show in season 1. I know, for the three of us, who were on season 1, we liked the road show element of season 1. We liked the chaos of that, even though it was hard to shoot and we froze. It was, or you froze. I was in a big coat. It was.
I froze.
Visually way more interesting than being on a set. And we loved the San Francisco stories, I did, but this was a different season. And we also wanted to contrast Gotham. We had exercised all our demons in Gotham. We felt like we could now move on to a new world, but that means with the new world comes new challenges. And Metropolis, outside, seems the exact opposite of Gotham. It isn't haunted. It is a city of optimism, fundamental idealism. But underneath there lurks problems.
Sure. Amazing. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. And everybody else, stay tuned to EW.com for all your New York Comic Con needs.
Thank you.